Hi, if you're here, it's probably because you're using the recipe and need a little help or just want to know a bit more about it. We prepared this tutorial to solve some problems that we have in this particular data set, so you can see on the field examples of how to use the recipe and how the workflow works. So let's get started. We see here we have some Netflix titles, 8,000 rows for either TV shows, movies, the title itself, the date added stuff. And we have problems with these two categories, these two columns that we have here, which are the ones that we're gonna focus on. First is the duration. It doesn't make any sense to have this 91 minute, 125 minutes as a category, because we have 220 categories of just 90 minutes, 93 minutes, 97 minutes. Makes no sense. We want to split those. And then we want to clarify what this TV rating code means, because I don't know what TVMA means at all. And we're going to ask ChatGPT to solve that for us. Let's first focus into the duration column. We can jump into the recipe here in the little scroll icon. We can jump into the code, tag this in here. We can have it always visible. And because we want to split this into either a number or text, we're going to use the extract regex function. We're not going to dive into what regexes are and how they work, because that would take forever. You can investigate those, but I will give you some of the answers to these problems. So extract regex. We can see here it auto-completes with this scaffolding, which is the input column, which in this case would be duration itself, which is this value here. And then whatever that we wanted to do, and the output column, because we want to focus first on the digit, on the number itself. We're going to say duration, I don't know, amount or something like that. And then we want to focus on extracting whatever is the number. So for that, we're going to use ~D, that is \D is matching a digit, and this is just keeping this backslash, so we can, that's a whole nother topic. We're not going to focus on that, but this will essentially take digits in that. We can execute in either in run, or maybe we can click on save. Save will only execute those steps that are fast, that is, that they will run in your machine. Run will execute everything, including steps that would necessarily go into our servers to be processed. So that will save you a lot of time if you're using fast steps. And you can tell if a step is fast because it's italics, it's italicized. So you can see it's like moving fast in a way. So we can click in here and it will run. We can see it's not exactly, because 90, it only took the first digit, and that is because actually in order to take any number of digits, we have to say plus. Again, not going to jump into the regexes themselves, but we can see that if I execute again, I will get the result. And you can see the workflow is very fast. Like, I do something, it's not exactly what I expected, I click on save again, and it just goes very quickly. This column is text, so we can actually cast it to one number quickly here, which, as you can see, all it does is generate a step for us with the duration amount as input, type number, and overwrites, that is what this symbol means, into the duration amount again. So we can actually run it, and that will become a number, and we can now have a distribution of how much each title is going for. We can now extract the other part of it, and for that we're gonna either extract, because we have only seasons and minutes, we can just say search for minute, or that is what that pipe symbol is all about, seasons. But season may be season or seasons, so we add a question mark, which basically says is appended to that S and saying match 0 or one of these. So it can either match season or it can either match seasons, both. And because we cannot again overwrite duration amount. That is what the problem is telling us here. We actually want like duration unit or something like that. We can save this and it works. As you can see, we have now successfully split these values, and we can have now all the season like based films, or I guess series, or the movies themselves. That's very good. We can now jump into the rating, and the rating is just a list of codes. And I basically just asked ChatGPT to generate a mapping of what each code is against a very little short description of it. Basically, this is what it looked like. So it's like TV Y apt for all children, TV directed to all the children and stuff. So we basically want to use the step replace values, and this will take an input column, which is rating, and we basically generate this object, paste everything in there, and that's it. I just asked ChatGPT to please generate a list of all the TV and film codes, and alongside an explanation, and format it as a JSON. And this is what it outputted. I'm not gonna question it. You can maybe, if it's very sensible, important information, you would usually have this mapping already in some way. So we can now generate this new column, which is like rating meaning or something like that. We can run it, and again, everywhere where it found TVY, it said apt for children, or the other way around. And as a last step that I want to show you, I want to order the original rating based on how strict they are, like from very basically up to all even children up to like only mature stuff. So again, I asked ChatGPT to do that for me. I copy this value from here that I have prepared in the tutorial, and we are going to use the step order categories, and which takes again the rating. And in this particular case, we want to actually have the rating as the output, but because we want to overwrite it, that is what that means. That is what it was giving as an error, because it says you cannot generate two columns that are the same name. But what I want to do is like overwrite the same column with the new value. And this will ask for a categories, and this categories thing is an array with all the values. And this array is generated again by ChatGPT. I just asked it, hey, generate a list with double quotes separated by commas of all the codes in order of how restrictive they are. And this will just work. We can save it. And nothing would have changed, like there's no new columns, obviously. But now the rating is sorted based on this, and everything works. So for example, we can generate very different kind of plots. We can, I don't know, say the duration amount in the x-axis and how many films, and we have a distribution of all the films that are in this case. We have over representation in this category because we have all the seasons, like 0 and like 1 and 2 seasons or something like that, smaller numbers. So we can jump into here and say only things that are expressed in minutes. We can actually, now that we're at it, cast that as a category, because I need that as a category. We can go into plot again and select only the minutes, so that removes that. So we can see it's very fast. We have a problem, we immediately solve it. Now we have this distribution of duration amount. We can customize this axis and say, for example, just duration in minutes, and we can very much assure that that is the case. And this is, for example, number of films. And it's a very nice plot. We can, for example, have like a stacked bar chart, and we can have the rating itself, because now it's sorted. We can add all the ratings. So after some tweaking, we can see we have all the setup, like for example, X and the release year, the duration amount and the Y, because they are sorted already, we can, for example, use this color palette, and this shows like there are more films that are being now generated, like being created for younger people than there were in the past, because in the past they were not focusing that at all, basically in this scale. So red means like more restrictive, more for adults. So we can have a nice insight in there. And yeah, and that should be it. That is basically how you use the recipe in order to solve these kind of problems. If you need any help, please just reach out, and hope you liked it, and see you soon.